I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jackie. Welcome back to Dumb Witch Club.
Hello.
Hello. How's your hair today?
No, don't ask these questions.
My hair is super staticky.
Yeah.
Because we're experiencing the dreaded and hated Santa Ana winds in Southern California.
Anybody from Southern California is like, ugh. They know exactly what we're talking about.
Your skin is dry.
Your skin is dry.
Your hair is staticky.
Your hair is a disaster.
Your emotions are all over the place.
Clearly. Today was bananas.
Everyone's wild.
Wild. I don't know what it does. I was like saying something about that to someone today. I'm like,
Yes.
I know that like the cats get crazy when the wind blows.
The pets get crazy.
Because the cats, like, they're biologically, like, it's ingrained. Like, if they see things moving, it's like the hunting instinct. They can't help it.
Ooh, that's probably true.
So when the wind's blowing,
I thought it just made them feel wacky.
I mean, that might be part of it. And it's blowing their fur. I think it's
I thought they get staticky, too.
And they probably do. And they really respond to, like, that static electricity.
Yeah.
So they're crazy.
No, but you're right about the, like, kind of, like, hunting instinct.
Yeah, that's why they attack their own tail. It's so strong in their brain that when they see their own tail moving, they can't override that part of their brain, and so they attack it, and then they realize it's them. And then
writing
they're like,
this down.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's science. I read it somewhere. I don't know where, but I did. I know.
That is amazing. I didn't know that. It makes perfect sense.
But people aren't cats.
Well, no, but some. Anyway, some people. Yeah. No, but that's what we were talking about in the house, too. Like, we love cats. We have a lot of cats between the two of us and have over our lifetimes.
Oh, yeah.
And yet we're like, ew, we hate them. They're so annoying.
You want to eat?
Yeah. I'm like, why do I have to take care of you?
I know.
But then I'm also like, don't talk bad about cats.
Yeah, don't ever.
Especially not my cats.
Do not ever.
I know.
They're precious angels, and you need to recognize that. Oh, my God. And so smart and so amazing.
Unless it's 3 a.m. and they're wandering the house going, like that.
That's such a perfect buttercup.
I know. It was horrible. That's exactly how she sounds, though.
That's how she sounds. How Fiero sounds, too. They sound exactly the same. Well, hers is the, like, more femme version.
Yeah.
His is a more mask version, but yes.
Yeah. Ugh, I know. These cats. I know. Yeah, so the wind, the cats.
I know.
I don't know. I feel like my hair is just stuck to me.
Yeah.
And I hate having hair stuck to me.
I know.
Anybody that knows me knows that. Mm-hmm. If there's a hair on me, I will have a heart attack.
Yeah, remember that hair I pulled off of you the other day?
Yes!
But you didn't know it was there.
No! I was so horrified.
And I was like, oh, and you were like, oh my God.
I was like, I didn't even know that was there. I was disturbed.
I was shocked you didn't know because it was one of those like annoying ones that totally would have tickled you. And I'm like, how does she not see this? But like, whatever, I'm just going to get it. And then I did.
I know. And then I was still like mortified by that.
I know.
But I was also so grateful. If you have a friend and there's like a hair stuck to her or not even a friend, look, you don't want to touch a stranger maybe, but tell them if lipstick is on someone's teeth.
Yes.
If there's food in someone's teeth. Mm-hmm. If they're like hairs you can tell is like flipped over because it's windy. Tell them.
Tell them.
Please.
Yeah, if they're looking crazy, tell them.
Tell them.
I have walked out of work
I hate that.
with stuff. It happened to me not that long ago. I walked out of work with this like basil leaf.
No.
And I'm like, really, you guys? Really? I think I texted some people at work and I was like, okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Cool. I literally walked around the entire afternoon like that. And that's abuse.
I think you could file a complaint with HR.
I should call HR.
Yeah.
It's abusive. You let me walk around like that, looking like that. What?
I would never.
I was like the butt of the joke. You know how like you start going into that? Like I was the butt of the joke. Everybody's
yeah, and somebody probably told another person and they didn't tell you. They were like, oh my God, if you go talk to her, like
she's like basil in her name. I was like, oh.
But like don't tell her.
Right? I'm like, I'm gonna turn into Carrie and you guys are gonna be sad.
That's true. They don't know what
they don't know. They don't know. They better watch.
And
recognize.
Yeah, put some respect on your name.
Exactly.
Anyways, I think we're doing okay despite it all. And we have an amazing episode today.
I would agree with that.
This is going to be a witchy vibe check.
Vibe check.
Vibe check.
We need it.
Well, clearly.
Yeah, we all need it. You need a vibe check.
A lot of people out there need it.
Yeah.
People who aren't even watching this, they need it.
Yeah, they don't even know
they don't even know they need it. But they need it. And they might feel it.
Oh, they feel
even
it.
if they don't know.
Oh, they feel it. They feel it for sure. They're just aching for a vibe check.
Absolutely. So,
yeah.
Let's start our vibe check episode with a card pull. How about that?
Good idea.
I know you brought out a fun deck.
Yeah, I think I have like a good deck for this.
Yeah, but I am picking not from now on, but for a while because you kept pulling the transformation card.
Look, I told you, you make the Scorpio pick.
I know, and so I don't really buy into that. I don't think it's because of that.
I don't either.
But I'm also like, you can't be too careful.
Yeah,
You're dealing with Scorpio.
And it's like, I mean, isn't that just like a fact?
Yeah, of course.
Can never be too careful when dealing with a Scorpio. Like, yeah, watch out.
Yeah.
It's hidden, but it'll come out.
But it's there.
It's there, and it'll come out, and just you be careful. Yeah.
Also, watch our Scorpio episode of New Sign Who Dis.
Oh, heck yeah.
And I also feel like once we're done with all of them, we'll probably do them all again, and they'll be even better.
Ooh, I love it.
Part 2.
Our Scorpio one was so cute and sweet, not just because I'm a Scorpio. I mean, it was partly that, but
it was mainly that.
Nice. It was so nice.
It was nice, but it was mainly that because if you weren't a Scorpio, I might have had a lot of more worse things to say.
I wouldn't blame you. I think anybody would say that.
Maybe. I don't know.
I've heard reactions from the other signs, and they all say that. They're like, everything you said was accurate.
Yeah. I do love Scorpios, though.
Oh,
it's just all jokes.
Again, we love everybody. Well, not literally everybody.
Okay, let's build a card.
Wow, Ashley. This wind.
Now I'm dying. Okay.
This wind is obviously making me chaotic as well.
In the name of not being chaotic, I'm going to pick this one.
Oh my god, that is never what I would
card.
do.
Oh, it says home. Picking the top card is super chaotic, just in case you weren't sure.
Yeah, that kind
of says home, though. That's really, really sweet.
That is really nice.
I like that. These are lovely cards, black and white, simple illustrations. Very pretty.
Home suggests that now is a time to rely on the places that you feel most safe. The places where you can be yourself entirely. It can be a physical place, but also a person, a time, a blanket. Yeah.
Aww. I like that.
Very much so. Relax into ourselves, let our guards down, find your home, whatever it may be, and work to make it a space you can feel uninhibited in. I think that's really good advice for right now.
It is, and I feel like it aligns kind of with a vibe check because, sometimes you need to stay home and be home.
Absolutely.
Basil. I know, I just saw that too.
Just not in your teeth.
No. Exactly.
Preferably.
Exactly.
That's a lovely little reminder.
I like that message.
I'm glad I didn't choose because it would have been hellfire. Oh, shoot. Transformation. Phoenix.
Yeah, seriously.
Stop it.
So, okay. I'm liking this energy.
Yeah, me too.
All right. So this is a vibe check. We have an extended why though segment.
Yeah.
Followed by we were like, well, it's not really big witch energy. I don't know if we want to call it small witch energy.
Yeah, we didn't know really what to...
Or if it was small, it'd be like small
witch energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what we're doing.
Baby. I'm baby.
Yeah. I know.
Sometimes you have to be. And look, home and
that's
blanket
true.
And shelter and comfort. Like maybe I am baby today.
You can be
now.
baby.
That's good. Yeah, and so can you.
Yeah.
So can you.
I like being baby.
It's cute.
It's cute. Not a baby.
Not a baby.
Yeah.
They get right.
Yeah.
They get that.
Well, it's like my cat. It's like Oliver. He's not a baby.
No, he's not a baby.
But he's baby.
He's baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's gigantic.
He's so cute.
He's big baby. Anyways, okay.
Okay, why though?
Yeah. Why don't you start, my darling?
Okay, I'll start.
Did that just put it on your plate? I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I am prepared because I feel like this is going to be good to talk about and get it
squared away.
Processed.
Yes.
Get it squared away. Get it organized.
Yes.
Yes. So, again, when we're going through things that just happened recently, it's not something that you just check off and you're like, well, that was last week. Okay, yes, but some of that energy lingers. You know, it doesn't just like cut off. So, We just had the new moon on the 21st.
Yes.
Which was last weekend. So obviously the sun and moon, they come together as they do on the new moon in the same sign.
Yep.
So we had them both in Aquarius.
Yes.
So, new moons for me, I know for you, like they feel intense. They feel more intense.
Yes, I've always noticed more with the new moon than the full moon.
Definitely. Yeah, and not everybody would agree with that, and I can understand it.
Yeah, it's a personal thing.
I just feel like there's something about that, the energy combining, and especially in certain seasons and stuff like that. And I think with Aquarius, I think a lot of people would agree. Like, that's the Aquarius energy. It's the visionary. It's that sort of unconscious, right? So when you have that alignment in the new moon, it's dredging up a lot of that, sort of those deeper thoughts and some of that. And so, it just feels, it's a lot. It's like what's beyond like the logical side.
Yes.
And so
it's like under there.
Yeah. And which is like, not what the energy we've been dealing with a lot and like being in Capricorn season and stuff. So it might feel like, oh wait, but I thought I was sort of getting back to logic and getting back to being grounded. And it's like, you are, but this new moon was a different energy with that.
Yeah, no, I think that's true. And I think just speaking of new moon kind of energy, I think it's because there's that dark moon period.
Yeah.
That kind of overlaps with the new moon
period.
Because it's just basically the time period where you can't see the moon.
Yeah.
And so the end of the previous cycle is that dark moon.
Yeah.
But then the start of the new cycle is the new moon. And it's kind of like, I feel like it's really up to interpretation to differentiate like when that transition happens.
True.
And sometimes I feel like, well, that was just a dark moon time, And then sometimes I'm like, oh, that felt more like a new moon time. Or there's sort of like a beginning and an end of that.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and obviously like you're going to feel it for different reasons and different signs and different placements and, different times in your life. You're going to feel things differently.
Totally.
But if that's what was going on and you were kind of picking up on that, like likely that was,
Yeah, well, and then that sign of Aquarius, I think, really also kind of brings in both of those energies too.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
like that depth, but also that visionary, that forward looking. So it's kind of like this pulling from like this collective, energy, but then also doing that like rebellious visionary, like where are we going? So it's a lot.
It's a lot. And I think maybe some good advice for, that kind of thing is there's not a lot you need to do during that period.
True.
In fact, you just don't. Like, it's doing a lot of work. Like, just let it be. Let it be.
Yes.
Be what you need to be.
Yes.
Handle it the way you need to. Just let it, because you don't have to constantly be doing, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's what the moon has been doing.
Yeah.
I know, well, and then the moon is gonna be doing a full moon in Leo on Sunday, August 5th. And I don't want to say too much about that, except for that's like moon in Leo, I feel like, well, I have a moon in Leo, so I'm like, it's the best, it's amazing. But I do think it's a very exciting sort of fulfillment energy, and going on a full moon, which also is fulfillment energy, I feel like that's going to be a really powerful sort of revelation time. So
Yeah. A time of like, really feeling like things are starting or coming together, or I'm not sure, but wherever you're at with things.
Yeah, just sort of energized and kind
energized.
of exciting.
Yeah, which is great. That's like, oh my gosh, it's so good to hear with like everything else going on.
Yes, exactly. So, okay, that's very good. We also want to touch back on Mars. So I know we've talked about Mars quite a few times.
Yeah.
And so, okay, kind of going over more than just like the super current. So Mars was in retrograde in Gemini. It's stationed direct on January 12th. Still in Gemini. And is now going back through all the degrees that it went through in retrograde. It is also currently out of bounds. So out of bounds refers to planets that are outside the sun's elliptical. So they're have further ending, degrees on the latitude and not the longitude, which is kind of what the degrees of the planets are referring to in general. So anyway, it's still out of bounds, and it's going to be out of bounds. It comes back at the beginning of May into bounds.
Right.
So when a planet's out of bounds, it's kind of like erratic and wild, and eccentric and surprising and just kind of off the wall. Mm-hmm. And it's in Gemini still. Yeah. So that's a lot of that air kind of out there kind of, you know, energy too. So anyway, there's still a lot going on with Mars. That's the point here. So my advice on this, and also it's in Gemini until March 25th, and then it will go into Cancer. And it'll still be out of bounds and all that stuff, but that definitely will change the energy. And we'll talk more about that like once that's happening. But so my advice for this is really to check your houses. Yeah. See what house is in Gemini. Mm-hmm. And that's where this Mars in Gemini is activating in your life. Mm-hmm. So whatever that area of life of that house for you is. And that's kind of reflect on that and see that's probably where you've been most affected by this energy. Mm-hmm. This kind of back and forth, this push-pull, this do again, do over, this like intensity and kind of strange, you know, back and forth. Mm-hmm. So just be compassionate with yourself around whatever that is. Mm-hmm. Be patient. Mm-hmm. Give it a little more time. Mm-hmm. And just remember that when we start to move forward, we start to gain clarity. Mm-hmm. When it comes back in bounds, you will gain even more clarity. And maybe things have been stuck during retrograde or repeating back and forth because of that Gemini energy. Mm-hmm. And over the next few months, it's not instantaneous like we always talk about.
Right.
You should start to see some things there. And you can help yourself by, yes, the kindness, the compassion, the patience, but also if there's anywhere you can take action to help yourself to improve or resolve whatever kind of things might have been stuck there. Yeah. You should maybe think about doing that, especially under this full moon that's coming up.
Mm-hmm. That's really great advice. And like Mars being, you know, the planet that's sort of around, it's around a lot of things, but like a lot of people talk about it in terms of like conflict, right? And like the way that we're handling conflict, approaching conflict, like it would be especially important to see like where that's happening in terms of the houses, like what stage that's happening on. Exactly. Because you might not even really realize like, oh, that's why this has been so frustrating, like at work, at home, with my job, whatever it is.
Yeah, no, exactly. And even within yourself, you know, you're like, oh, well, that's why I've been feeling like maybe, I don't know, if we just, go into different houses, like this area, this club that I've been a member of, and now it's feeling weird, you know, of like, oh, maybe that's like in your 11th house or whatever. So
totally. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Yes.
Love that.
So
I'm going to take that advice.
So am I. I'm not going to be a dumb witch about it.
Good.
Yes.
That's what we're here for.
We are here for that. We're trying.
We are trying.
Okay. What else? What else do we have in terms of planet vibes?
I have a good one.
Okay.
So, Venus I think as of today.
Yes.
Has moved into Pisces.
I know.
She loves it there.
It's exalted in Pisces. It's not the rulership, but it's exalted, which is like the sort of, I mean, I would say like the next most powerful positive placement. Yes. But I also feel like that exalted is very different than ruler.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, just like yes, exactly. It's like, oh, beautiful, come here. Where rulership is like, oh, you're here, you know.
Yeah, that's so true.
You know? And like, I love you and you're here, but like, you know?
Totally.
Like, let me behave like this, you know?
It's so true.
But exalted is like, hey, I'm here.
It is. It so is. It's so true. That's such a good way of putting it. I love it.
So no, I think Venus and Pisces is beautiful. Really beautiful.
Yes. And it's honestly like the thing we need with everything else going on.
Yes.
It's what we need because it's so dreamy and it's so soft and it's so lovely. And, you know, you're going to feel more compassion and you're going to feel your feels more, especially for other people. But I think it's also important to remember that counts for you as well. Always. So that you are going to feel it for others and you're going to pour yourself out. And that's great to do. But don't forget to fill yourself back up. And that's something you should be doing. So, you know, really lean into that. Like, practice that self-love right now, because there's a lot of other work you're doing. So when you're doing that, you know, you need to have that. And that energy is really going to help you feel like doing that. So
yes, 100%. I love that. I really love that.
And it's like Valentine's season.
That is true.
I love that it fits that, because like I'm obsessed with that aesthetic. I don't know. I just love it so much.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's cute.
Love that vibe. It's so cute.
Yeah.
It's so cute. So,
yeah. No, thank you for mentioning and reminding about that. I love that.
It's like a cute one.
It is. It is. It is a cute one. Okay. No, that's amazing. What other important points do you have?
Mercury's direct now.
All planets are direct now.
All planets are direct now.
Yes.
Yep.
And we were in a period where many planets were in retrograde.
Yeah, all planets are direct.
At one point.
Yeah, and everything is direct now until April.
Yes.
So we have a period of...
It's a reprieve.
Yeah, it's a reprieve. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. So it's like, it's kind of nice in the way that it feels like everything is rooting for you at this point. There's nothing sort of, you know...
Yes, going like yanking on your ankle, like keeping you back. Yeah, for sure.
So those things like you mentioned, like the things you want to do, those things you feel like you should take action on, like you mentioned, like that's great. Like, because the planets, it's almost like they're rooting for you. They're on your side. Like, you can manifest those things if you want to, and you feel like you're ready to and everything.
Yeah, no, for sure. More things are sort of aligning, generally speaking. So, no, I think that's really good. So, in terms of vibe check,
Yeah.
the vibe is changing.
Yeah.
And...
Yeah. I
said and then I said nothing else.
Because it's overwhelming, and it's like hard to know really what to say, because everyone's like, oh, well, you know, stuff isn't in retrograde anymore, so can't blame that. So, you know, that's over. But then why do I still feel like this? Like, or why is this still not everything should feel great, but there's parts that don't.
I know, but when you said that, I'm like, so I can't blame astrology?
I know. I saw your face. You're like, wait a second. You're like, there has to be something
There's got to be something up there.
Yes, the out of bounds. You can blame that.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, you just described that in great detail. Like,
100%.
you can still blame that. It's okay. You still have scapegoats. Don't worry.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. So if my vibes are off, that's why.
Out of bounds.
Yeah, sorry, out of bounds. But I'm like, I don't know why your vibes are off, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on
wrong
there.
The
So
double
great.
standard. It's
I know.
amazing.
I love it. What was the game in like elementary school? There was something in elementary school. Right when you were saying that out of bounds thing, it made me think of it, because I remember playing something. I hated any organized physical activity, by the way. This,
ooh, remember that?
Triggers me.
That game Red Rover? Like,
my
that's
God.
so traumatizing and horrible.
I hated it, and it made me hate everyone. And then, because, you know, Scorpio, I'd be like, and I'm getting revenge on you, and I'm getting revenge on you, and you hurt my hand, and I'm done with you. You ran through my arms a lot extra.
Yeah, and like, you picked me first for this stupid team, or alternatively, you didn't pick me for your stupid team.
Which,
either way,
you suck anyway.
Yes.
You're a 13-year-old. Like, how are you good? Oh my God. Yes, clearly I have, you know, my issues. When you were saying that, it reminded me of a game that we were forced to play.
You were always forced. You had to play.
You were forced. It was never volunteer for me. I was like, can I go sit at the backstop? Like, you can give me a 0. Like, I'm okay. And they were like, no, you have to do this, like, aggressive Lord of the Flies exercise.
I know. Yeah, seriously.
Okay.
I know.
What are we doing here? Yeah. Horrible. There was something we would do. And people, it was some complicated thing, and I never understood it.
I'm getting just so upset.
And people would go, out of bounds, out of bounds. What was it that they would do? It's something, maybe it was handball. It was something.
Oh, handball had a lot of rules.
There was a lot of rules.
A lot of rules. No double bouncies, no whatever. Like, all of these things.
And these moves you were doing would be like black magic.
Tetherball was the worst. People would get
horrible.
so aggressive.
Tetherball was... it was like a gauntlet. Like, I don't know what that was.
It absolutely was.
Would go crazy.
And there was always like that, like it was always like, oh, tall people were good at tetherball or whatever. But then there was always that little short kid that would somehow do that thing where they were like hitting it like in this like orbital, like a side, like a Saturn, like tilted, like elliptical thing.
Violence.
Yes. And then the tall kids would be like, they couldn't, oh my God. I remember watching this and being like, who are these people?
Yeah. Like, I'm a pacifist. Do I have to participate? Because this is violence.
I was like, I want to read a book.
Literally violence.
Yeah.
I want to sit here and read Babysitter's Club.
Yes, leave me alone.
Like,
I'm reading R.L. Stein. I'm already scared.
Yeah.
Don't show me violence.
Yes. Like, the monster blood is on the floor. I need to figure out what it is.
Yes, 100%. Oh, wait. That was a tangent.
Out of bounds.
This was out of bounds.
And I'd be like, I swear,
this
I
whole
would
conversation
argue.
is out of bounds.
Horrible.
I know. I did like Foursquare, though. I don't remember it, but I remember liking it.
I remember that game. Yeah. I feel like I liked that. I feel like that was calm.
Yeah.
I like the calm games.
I also like jump rope.
I rocked a jump rope. I was so good at it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, those were fine, calm, nice games.
Yeah, so there's some good points. Anyway, that whole conversation was extremely out of bounds, and I don't know what we're doing.
That people felt validated by it, though, because if they're anything like us, they're going to be like, yes, 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 and I hope somebody tells me what game it was where they would go, out of bounds, because I need to name it so that I can...
There was always those Virgo rule followers who would call you out on everything.
Ooh.
Just saying.
Yep. No, it's not a lie. I mean, where's the lie?
That's what I'm saying. We'll get to that in a future episode, too.
Unhinged, man.
I know.
Yeah.
Calm down.
I don't. Yeah. And the fastest way to get me to, like, not care about anything is to be like that. I'm like, no, okay, play your little game. Yeah. I don't care. I'm not playing.
You do.
Yeah. You're it. You're blah. I'm not playing. That was like,
I know.
Ooh,
you're out.
Was the
I'm
best.
Like, I'm not out. Not playing.
Wasn't that the best? That was like the trump
You were
card
playing,
you had.
though. But you were playing.
You were
no,
playing.
I wasn't.
No, I wasn't. I was never playing Prove It.
You thought I was playing, but I wasn't. You
wasn't.
wasted all your time on this. I'm not playing this game.
It was the only
I don't even know what game this is.
That you had as a kid to be like, I'm not playing. That's the only thing you had, and I pulled that card.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. We'll talk about this later.
Yeah,
okay.
We'll talk about it more.
Okay. What else do we have to move on to that's relevant to Dumb Witch Club? Anything?
I feel like that's really relevant. So, I think it is. But that's fine.
It's relevant to me because I love you, but that's all.
Yeah, that's okay. Someone will feel validated by that.
I agree.
Anyway, back to the conversation at hand about, okay, retrogrades for now are done.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is station direct.
Yes.
But why is there still this feeling? Yes. Because, like we have talked about before, people want to talk about how retrogrades are the devil. Like, they're the thing that is causing everything. And it's like, okay, yes, there's some validity to the energy that you're feeling during that time.
Well, yeah, because they are a thing.
They are a thing. But any shift, especially a major one, especially after a period of time in which you've developed adaptive mechanisms, is going to also feel some type of way. And that's what's happening now. Because stationing direct, it can feel very jarring. It's like, wait, now I'm supposed to move forward? Like, but I was doing this. That's not working anymore. I actually have to, figure this out now. Like, am I ready to do that?
Yeah. Well, it's good. That makes a lot of sense.
Right? Like, it's like, wait, you were telling me, like, for so long I had to second guess and repeat, and I'm not sure. And now it's like, okay, go.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's all going to work out. Just go. Just do it. You're like, I'm not.
You're like, I didn't.
But I was napping to avoid retrograde.
And, like, you told me to.
Yeah, exactly. And now you're like, wake up.
Yeah.
Start going. Your alarm's ringing. Start
going.
For real.
Yes.
That's
and
true.
like,
but it doesn't have to be like that.
No.
I mean, the whole point of this whole conversation is that once you understand kind of what these energies are putting out, you can decide what to do about them. You can work with them.
Yeah.
You can be easier on yourself. You can push yourself through it, whatever it requires.
Absolutely.
It's empowerment.
It is. And it's empowerment, and it's yes, for sure, like, as above, so below, and matching that energy is a good thing and everything. But at the same time, too, like, you can do that in your own unique way with your own boundaries.
Yes. Well, and I think you can match it or you can balance it on the other side, too.
That's so true.
You know?
Yeah.
So those are options.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes, a lot of times, like, why people are feeling this way and they can't always name it. And it's sort of like what we talked about at the beginning, like they need a vibe check even if they don't know that they need one. It's like, dude, it's capitalism.
Always.
It always is.
Colonialism, capitalism, the patriarchy.
It is.
You don't even need to blame astrology, actually.
No, you don't. You have plenty of other things to blame. And it's true because it taps into, you can't help it. It's what you're surrounded by. And it's like the fabric of you in a way. So when things are stationing direct and you are sort of getting that spurring and that feeling of like, I need to, it runs direct with that, messaging that we're constantly getting in this like hellscape.
Grind culture, productivity.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of and this is no shade to anywhere you're going to encounter this information because it's not like they're wrong or anything, but a lot of what you're going to sort of like read about like periods of time like this from other like astrologers or like astrology like material, it's going to say a lot. It's going to focus on like that forward energy and like do your goals, do your plans, do things. And sometimes people are like,
it's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
So I think that's what like we want to do is just be a little bit more like nuanced about it. Like certainly that's here, but like you're allowed to set your own boundaries around this stuff.
Well, yes, and a small movement is movement, and the movement from 0 to 1 takes way more energy than from 1 to 2 or any other increment.
That's absolutely true.
It's true.
Little shifts every day.
Yes. I know, that was your card pull thing for the year, remember?
I know. You would think that, I would remind myself more often about it.
Well, that's what you're doing now.
That's what I'm doing now. And
it counts.
It's a good thing.
Yes, that is very good. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the takeaway here? What is the vibe check takeaway from these current happenings?
I think that's what it is. I think it's that the little shifts every day. For me,
is it.
I don't know if that not like with you or with other. I mean, I hope so.
I like it.
If there's other ideas, like I'm totally open to them. But that's sort of what I took away. Like not only like are you in charge of setting your boundaries and your intentions, and like you said, you can be the balance of that energy if that's what you feel like you need to be. You set your frequencies. You set your energies and your intentions. Just like you choose the other things in your life. You do that. So whatever it is that you feel like you need to do to honor that, do that. Like, say it to yourself in a mantra every day. I don't know. Because that phrase came up in the card that I chose.
Yes.
Like, that's an easy one for me. Like, I can just remember that and remind myself of that. I don't have to reinvent the wheel, so to speak, because I had it already.
That's true. That's true. And I think, like, we want to obviously, like, encourage just being creative and, like, thinking outside the box, but also, like, you don't have to reinvent everything.
No, you certainly don't.
It can just be like, I am enough and I am whole, like that's wonderful.
It's perfect, yeah.
Or it could be like going on a walk every day and, just there's a lot of different ways that you can do small shifts every day.
And any of if you look back at our like energy protection magic episode, I think that would be a really good one to revisit, even if you have seen it, because Jackie especially has some really good, like very simple
very small. Yes.
That can be that little shift or that little reminder.
Yes.
And I like those.
Yes, I like those too.
And I want to know more about your ideas around that too.
Oh, thank you. Well, maybe, yes, I would love to share more at an appropriate time. I'm like right now.
Out of bounds.
I know. I'm like out of bounds.
Out of bounds. I'm like,
we have pronouns. I have no Virgo in my chart, so just so you know.
I do.
I know. We know about it. I mean, I know about it.
Yeah.
And I still love you for it.
It's okay.
It's not that bad.
No, it actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's wonderful.
Of course not.
Okay. Okay, all right. So, no, that was an amazing extended why, though. I have a much better idea of why, though.
Yeah.
And I like the takeaway, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And if anyone in your life needs a vibe check, tell them about some of this stuff.
Yes. Or tell them to watch this.
Or tell them to watch
If you don't want to tell them, because you know how that can be.
Yes, I know. So much you can't tell people.
No, you cannot.
So, okay, we are going to move on to our small baby witch energy.
Small witch energy.
Yeah, because it's not like a super long thing. But what we wanted to talk about is Imbolc, which is a Sabbat. It's a holiday. It is coming up.
Yeah.
It is of Celtic origin. It is associated with the Celtic goddess Bridget, who became a saint in the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
And that her saint's day within that is February 1st. Yeah. But a lot of people celebrate Imbolc on February 2nd. Mm-hmm. But, you can kind of like take your choice or your preference on that. It doesn't, necessarily matter. Mm-hmm. It's also called Candlemas, which I really like. Mm-hmm. And so what it really is, it's this time at the very beginning of February, and it's really marking the time directly in the middle of winter and spring. Mm-hmm. So it's really kind of a vibe check space.
Yes, it is.
It is a time to come out and kind of check and see.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're halfway through, but like, where are we at?
Yes.
It is a return of light in the sense that with winter, we had the shortest day of the year. Mm-hmm. And since then, the sun has been out longer, each day leading up until summer. Mm-hmm. So, and this just happened like on Tuesday. I came out of my office at the end of the day. It was like 5:05. Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's still light out. Uh-huh. And I said to like my clients, people who are with me, I was like, oh my gosh, it's still light out. And she's like, oh my God, like, thank God, whatever. Uh-huh. And I was like, yes, like I noticed.
I noticed it today when I was driving here. It was like such a beautiful, lovely color in the sky and everything. And I'm like, oh, it's still light. I can see everything. It was just nice.
Yes. So I think, this is the time you start to notice like, okay, it's staying lighter longer. Like, but the whole thing kind of with the specific day of Imbolc is it would be a celebration and a festival. And it really would be like kind of seeing how much more of winter do we have left and how close is spring. Mm-hmm. And this is very reminiscent of Groundhog Day, which we celebrate here in the U.S. I've always, have a weird opinion about that. Yeah. But it's very similar to this. Yes. And I always was super confused, and now I'm not confused. So I'll clarify for people.
Please do, because people need this.
Yes. So, okay, with like Groundhog Day even, it's like, so and I don't know his name, and nobody tell me his name, but I know that groundhog has a name, and I don't want to know it. But he comes out, and then if he sees his shadow, you know it, and I don't want you to tell me. I won't say it. He comes out of his little den, I don't know. Anyway, if he sees his shadow...
Who sees it?
The groundhog.
Dang it, go ahead.
And if he sees his shadow... That means that now I'm going to say it wrong because I'm all flustered because you're messing with my mind. Okay, so if he sees his shadow, that means that there is going to be more winter. Yeah. And if he doesn't see his shadow, it means that there will be an early spring. Mm-hmm. And I was always like super confused by like, why does that mean that? Same. And it almost seemed opposite to me.
Yeah, because it would be like the sun is out, so
Yes, like why is there more winter if the sun is out? Yeah. But the thinking really was that, well, if it's sunny now, it's a fluke. Like it's too soon. And it's going to actually still be winter longer. Okay. But if it's still cloudy in February, then winter is running its course more correctly, if you will. Mm-hmm. And it's going to end, and then spring will start officially.
Okay, that does make sense.
Yes.
It was explained in a totally different way to me, which still didn't make sense. I think probably when we were in elementary school. And I don't know who came up with this, but they were like, if he sees a shadow, he gets scared of it. Did you ever hear that? And he runs back in there, and so he stays in there because he got scared of it. And then it's winter because he won't come out. And I'm like, huh? Yeah, I never bought that. I'm like, he gets scared of it every time. Come on, it's just like the same groundhog. Yeah. I'm like, for the most, right? Like,
and then he's also never seen his shadow any other time.
What is that? Why are you scared of it? It never made sense to me, but I didn't question it because I was like, well, whatever, okay.
Well, yeah, because who cares? Because it's a groundhog. Anyways, so Groundhog Day, very reminiscent. But back to Imbolc, it would be a day of like, if it was warm weather and sunny, then that would be an indicator that there was going to be a longer winter.
Yeah. Okay.
So, kind of whatever. And maybe Groundhog Day technically has a different origin. It's just interesting that it's very similar. I think it's like a Pennsylvania Dutch origin, and I don't know. I'm not too sure. I have mixed feelings about Groundhog Day. Actually, it's not mixed at all. I hate it. I think it's weird, and I don't like it.
It's weird. I love the movie.
I don't even really like that movie.
No? Yeah, I like it. I think I love the part where Bill Murray puts the toaster in the bathtub. It cracks me up.
I like Bill Murray. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not your fave.
No. Yeah. So that's why I celebrate Imbolc and not Groundhog Day. So.
Well, I don't celebrate it either, but I do know his name, but I won't say it.
Thank you for loving me this much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, so all of that being said, also welcoming in sort of just the month of February. It's sometimes called February Eve also, which is cute and interesting. So February started back in, the ancient times. There was a Roman festival of purification. Mm-hmm. And the root of the word February actually means that, purification.
Sure.
So it's about cleaning, cleansing, purifying, kind of, it's not like a New Year's thing.
Right.
But it's kind of a continuation of that. Like you're still in this renewal, you're sort of getting ready to go into spring. Mm-hmm. So it's one of the Sabbats that witches and pagans celebrate. So I had just an idea for a little ritual / spell that you could do if you wanted to. So, and I have props to go with this.
I love props.
Yes, thank you. So my concept is like two separate things, or you could tie them together and have it be one thing. So the way that it would work would be on February 1st in the evening, you would take your white candle, and this is a ritual and a spell to spark creativity and focus.
Oh, I love this.
So you would light your candle. You would trim the wick first. This is like too long.
Yeah.
But you would light your candle, and you would, you could do other things too. Like I always do like a salt circle. Yeah. You can do a salt circle. You don't have to do one, but I always do that too. And I always put some crystals around too. Again, you don't have to do that, but you can always do that. But you light the candle and let it kind of, burn, gaze upon it, like center yourself there. Mm-hmm. And you could say something like, on this Imbolc night, may I reignite my focus and creativity. May I grow with energy and passion. Mm-hmm. And then you could ponder on that, stay centered, kind of think about it. And then you could blow out the candle. And that would be sort of ritual 1 for night 1.
That's so simple. I love
simple.
It.
Yes. So then ritual 2 for the second day, which is actually February 2nd, you could use the same candle, and you also would need a bell. And if you don't have a bell, you can look up a bell ringing. Yeah, you can use the little bell on your phone. It doesn't really matter. The point is to just have kind of a little chimey sound. But if you have a little bell, they're useful in witchy stuff. Yeah, and they're pretty cheap, and you can get them at witchy stores or just different random places. So you need the candle and the bell. So for this one, very similar. You kind of set up your altar. You could even have left it up from the night before. Light your candle again. And this one is actually about releasing pain and sadness that you may have been carrying with you. Mm-hmm. It's sort of in that purification and kind of re-centering yourself kind of thing. So you would set everything up, light your candle, and this time you could say something like, Festival of Light, release my sadness and pain on the 3rd chime. And then you would ring your bell, 1, 2, 3. And again, sort of meditating on that, centering yourself, watching the flame. You blow the candle out, you watch the smoke carry off all of your sadness and your pain. And the way you could combine these two would be if you had a prayer candle is what it's sometimes called. Yeah. This is our branded candle from our book club that we used to have. Yes. But you can get them anywhere. They can be blank. Sometimes they have different things on them, which you could remove or you could leave on.
Right.
You could buy one for Saint Bridget if you could find one, because that is sort of the saint and the goddess that is linked with this holiday. Mm-hmm. But if you did that, these are really meant to be burned for days.
Yes.
And to be left lit for days. So you could, if you had one of these, light it on February 1st, do that first part of the ritual and spell, leave it lit, and then do the second part and blow it out finally on that second
I really like
day.
that. That's very nice.
And as long as you left it someplace, safe where it wasn't going to get knocked over and things like that, it really is the purpose of what those candles are for. So
that's beautiful.
That's my idea for Imbolc. And I like it. I feel like Imbolc is kind of a, I don't know, kind of a, not, I don't want to say it's weird, but it's a little bit of a weird one. It's a less obvious one.
It is a less obvious one, and it's a kind of overlooked one, I think.
Right.
But I really like it. I like some of those because I feel like, the big times, the big shifts, the big stuff, like everyone pays attention to that. Everybody kind of feels that. It's very obvious. It's very in your face, But it's nice to have these middle kind of reminders because it helps you to get through the parts that are middling in between. Because there are middling parts in between. Yes. Especially with like winter as it's dredging. I mean, Southern Californians can't really claim that, but like other people really
But
can.
we still will.
We still do. We still will. We're like, it's so windy.
It's so cold.
It's literally like
58 today.
Exactly.
I know.
We do.
Yeah, no, but this is our winter, though.
It is. It's nice to be like, oh, this is the halfway point. Because you don't think about that. Nobody ever thinks about that. You maybe notice, oh, it's staying light later and stuff like that. But you don't ever really, like, think about that or mark that. And this is a way to do that and remind yourself, like, if whichever side you were on in the I'm not ready to move forward or whichever side you're on, this fits it. If you're in the no, I still need to stay in winter a little bit and kind of shelter in place at home, this is perfect for that.
Yes.
If it's the moving forward and you're ready to embrace that and look, we're halfway through, we're almost to spring, then it's that for you. It's whatever you want it to be.
I think that's so true. And I love how you just tied in our card that we pulled at the beginning, the home card, and the stuff going on in the planets. And I just think, it all links together. It all makes sense. And I feel like these vibes are very nice.
These vibes are very nice.
Yes.
I like this. I'm going to carry this forward. I love all of this. I have ideas now. Yes. I feel empowered now. No one can say to me, out of bounds, out of bounds.
Yeah, no.
So I'll be like, I'm in the bounds that I have set, and you can't even see them. So you're out of bounds.
Exactly.
That was a mic drop. It was a pen, but it was a
it was really good. So, I mean, on what better note to end on? I think there is not one.
There isn't one, so.
Yeah, until next time.
Stay witchy, friends.
And stay dumb.
Dumb Witch Club is written and produced by us, Ashley Sidner
and Jackie Gerard at the Dumb Witch Clubhouse in Orange County, California.
Produced and edited by Matt Heinemeyer, creative director and culture consultant Violet Turner.
Original music by Ashley Sidner. And look us up on all your favorite social media platforms, including Patreon.
Until next time, stay witchy, friends.
And stay dumb.